Alright, so I kind of wanted to talk about my shelf a little bit, give you guys a shelf tour, and discuss my experience collecting in the last couple of years. So I started collecting in 2021. It was kind of a pandemic thing for me. I really enjoyed collecting. The community is great. It's become a hobby of mine. I do a lot of customizing and spending time with the figures. Do a little bit of model kits, and I mean, if you ain't got something like this in your house, are you really crafty? I don't know. Anyways, I'm just joking around. So, starting here with the Titans. This is a part of the DC Comics display, and it's honestly probably my favorite display overall. I know there's a lot of mixy-matchy things in here, and there was last time too. Nothing's changed. The only difference is I've got a new Red Robin, the Flash, the Kid Flash is there. I've got, a couple of new figures. I really enjoy that display. Not quite as much as I enjoy this one. This is a recent addition. I got this guy for 95 bucks. I think that's pretty good. He didn't come with all the accessories. He's missing a few things, but he does have most of what he needs. He's got most of the accessories, so not a big deal. I think it's worth it. Moving on down here, just wanted to show you guys this. I don't really have a great place for these, but this is the Mafex Spider-Man and Peter. This is the Mafex Peter and Miles from Into the Spider-Verse. And those are cool figures. The Miles is really fragile. I don't really touch it because of that. It's kind of a shame a little bit. Moving on here, we've got the Captain America Superman display. And I've got those guys bunched together because, first of all, I love them both. And second of all, they just have similar sentiments, and those are sentiments that I love, so I've put them together. Spider-Man's not far off, so we've got the Spider-Verse display. And these are pretty much all the Spider-Mans that I can think of, and I'm a big fan of Dan Slott's Spider-Verse comics, so I've kind of tried to get most of the Spider-Man that you would see in that, and I think it looks really badass. So moving on here, I think I should probably show this before it moves on too far. We've got the Lord of the Rings figures. I'm a big fan of the books. I'm not a huge fan of the movies. I like the movies. I didn't see them growing up. I was born in '99, and for whatever reason, my parents just didn't take me to see those. So I like the movies. I've read the books in the last couple of years, and I love the books. So moving on here, we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers from Endgame. And this is one of my favorite displays. This is pretty much mostly imports. So the Guardians are, I wouldn't say mostly imports actually, but the rest is. The only problem here is we've got Gamora in the Guardians 1 outfit because that's how she appears in Endgame in the final battle. And the only problem here is Rocket Raccoon, who should have sleeves and boots at this point, but he's got his Infinity War outfit on. I think what I'm going to do is customize a Guardians 3 Rocket and turn him into an Endgame Rocket. And that's the best I can do, so other than that, it's just a really cool display. Got some Legends mix in there. Wong is way too tall, I know. Look how tall he is compared to Ant-Man and Cap, but what are you gonna do? I want to have them all, so I put them in there. This is a customized Legends. So all the paint apps you see there, I even put black paint inside of the bores of all the holes, and I think I made it look really cool. So this is the Marvel Legacy display. This is all of the Fox Sony pre-MCU figures, and this was here last time, but it was a lot less extensive. I've got all of the figures from the Raimi figures, from the Raimi movies now. I've got all the villains and stuff. This is a customized figure. It was missing fingers when I bought it. I got that thing for $12 and painted it back up. Looks good. I sculpted the fingers with epoxy putty, so I'm happy with it. I like it. Got Ghost Rider, got the motorcycle. Of course, you gotta have the motorcycle, so. That's a cool display. It's one of the first ones that I was excited about collecting, and I hope that the MCU can do justice for the X-Men the way that these movies did. Got Rocky just hanging out there. Watched those movies with a buddy recently, and you know, anything that I mildly enjoy, gotta have as a figure, you know. So here we've got the movie display, and this is just kind of various movies. It's got some Spider-Man, it's got Justice League, it's got Star Trek. But I kind of lump it all together. It's got Harry Potter, got Star Wars, so it's pretty extensive. And the live action movies go all the way from Endgame through Harry Potter, or through Star Wars, I mean. And then it gets to the Mando is the first of the live action TV there. And then it goes on to animated TV, but we'll get to that. Star Trek figures. I'm a huge fan of Star Trek. I really hope they come out soon with some Strange New Worlds figures. I've really enjoyed that TV show so far. Got Superman Returns. Got both versions of the Henry Cavill Superman there. Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Got the SDCC 2010 Sam Raimi figure in the palm of the 18 inches hand. That's actually probably the rarest figure on the shelf. It took me a good couple months of searching every day on Mercari and eBay both just to find one for sale, even, let alone the price. You could find one for like $500 to $1,200 pretty easy, but I got this guy for less than $200, so that's where the objective lie there. Anyways, I'm talking about the Star Wars figures. The only one that I got that's an import is Luke, and that's because Luke is my favorite character. Got Return of the Jedi, got Revenge of the Sith there. I think all my bases are covered. I know that Hasbro's coming out with a new R2 that's going to be bigger, it's going to be more appropriately sized, but you know what? I can't fit anything bigger. I'm kind of grateful for this guy. Doesn't hurt me that he's a little bit small. He's there, at least, you know. I don't think I could fit anything bigger and still retain the cool aspect that I've got. So moving on, we've got animated and live action TV right here. Left side, live action. Right side, animated. And so you got Toy Spider-Man next to animated Spider-Man. Makes a cool little spider display, especially next to the video games. I enjoy that. These are just, you know, things that I enjoy. Haven't talked about these guys. Man. It's just tragic. All three of this guy, and this guy look great. What is this? What is this? That's not Bill Murray. Who is that? I don't know. It's a huge disappointment. I don't know if I showed this properly. I enjoy a nice duo. Okay. moving on here. We've got the video game display. Just recently picked these guys up. These are, if you haven't seen them in stores yet, you see them for 10 bucks. They're Hasbro quality. They have double joints. They have excellent paint applications. That is worth every bit of $10, each one of them. Injustice, Superman. Just some video games that I've played and enjoyed. Alright, moving on. We've got our final display. This would be a Marvel Comics display. So I've got just, you know, pretty much all of the things that I love about Marvel. Starting here with the X-Men. I'd figure that's about as complete as I care to have. It's the Jim Lee X-Men for the most part, and following it is the Fantastic Four. I know a lot of people don't like that Invisible Woman. I said this last time. I like it. Can't wait to get that new Ant-Man. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna keep that Wasp and just put it in the belt loop of the new one, hopefully. I hope that works out. It worked out for this one really well, so I've always enjoyed that. This is actually the only knockoff that I have on the shelf, and I openly admit it because it is, in fact, a knockoff. I got it for 20 bucks on AliExpress, and the reason why I'm okay with it is because I've got the real one over here, so. That's the real deal right there. This is the knockoff. Why do I need two of them? I wanted them twice, so I've got them twice. And just a couple of post-Endgame figures. Captain America dueling it out with you know, what's his face? Anyways. So the one thing I kind of forgot to talk about here is the Mighty Morphin, of course, display. But more specifically, the customs here. Got Roland, Jake, and Susanna there. Susanna is a kind of mid-work there from the Dark Tower from Stephen King. And I've done quite a few full customs at this point. But I don't have a lot of them because I'll either sell them or give them away. But I've got, you know, that's a custom. Technically Spider-Man and the Spider-Man, both these Spider-Man, the 18-inch and the 6-inch there, are both pretty much fully painted by me. I don't know if you recognize the 4-inch Page Puncher Superman. He's got red boots and underpants painted on him there, and actually I've painted quite a few of these, just restoring them. I don't know if I mentioned I painted here the Black Panther. That's got quite a bit of upgraded detail there. And if you're interested in any of this, or if you're interested in commissions, I am perfectly capable of pretty much making whatever you want right now. I'm currently working on DC's Icon. I don't know if you ever heard of Augustus Freeman Icon, but this is on the Vulcan body, so I can even paint prep the pegless bodies. I've found a way. I know a lot of people are hesitant about that, but the Roland over here is on the long shot body, and that's pegless, and I painted this guy up, and works perfectly. It takes some extra time, being a little extra careful, but you can prep those for paint as well. So if you're interested, my Instagram is Dawson E Customs, and I'll put a link in the description below. Yeah, so that's it for the customs. The last thing I did want to talk about is kind of what I opened this video up with, the experience collecting that I've had over the last couple of years. So I kind of wanted to talk about price, and when you're new to this, it's easy to get sucked in and make some mistakes, make some decisions that are not great. I've got probably 400 to 500 figures here. I haven't counted in a while. But I can tell you, over the last 2.5 years, I've spent probably 13, 14, somewhere in the range of $15,000 on these. So that really puts things into perspective. If it's not worth that for you, be more careful. Buy things for retail price. I did a lot of buying old things on eBay for way too much, and I've got regrets. So be careful getting into this hobby. Find things that can make it last longer, like painting things, doing things, taking photos. That's a great way to make the enjoyment of a specific item last longer. And be careful out there. All right, you guys have a good one. I hope you enjoyed the tour.